I want to give you 3 one-liners that I've heard from investors in the last 6 months, 6 years since we started The Motley Fool. Throughout life, you'll hear lines like this, and I'd like your quick reaction to each of them. Stock market is just a big gambling machine, and it's probably rigged too, so I don't invest.
In the short term, the stock market is a casino. That's correct. In the long run, it is not a casino. It's a machine for compounding interest and returns, which, as Einstein said, is the greatest miracle in financial history.
I tried to convince Daniel Kahneman, the Nobel Prize winner, that the market is more predictable in the long term, and he wasn't really buying it or having
Well, you know, like everything else, it all depends. The idea that what is totally unpredictable in the short run is more predictable in the long run is a little insane when you think about it. But there are internal dynamics to the market that will prevail as long as the nature of our society prevails. And that is corporations serving consumers, serving corporations, serving government will make money. And if they innovate, if they become more efficient, if they have a lot of entrepreneurship on their side, if they're technologically well qualified, even leaders, they will do fine. But there's always that big if that hangs over it. And any investor that disregards that big if is making a big mistake. I mean, I think about it, but do I crawl into a hole and take my money with me, such as it may be? I'd be more worried about someone digging up the grave and taking it away from me while I'm lying down there.
Next one is, when it comes to investing, I just give my money to my friend Frank over at Name Your Big Wall Street Bank. I don't really know what they're doing, but is such a friendly person. I'm sure that they're taking care of my finances for me. I mean, a huge number of people don't want to deal with this subject. It's like dentistry for them. And if they can outsource dentistry, they're going to be very happy to do so, and they turn to their college friend or friend of a friend who happens to work at a big firm and has been trained to be very friendly with them, and they're just going to hand their money and say, please don't lose it, Frank, and I trust you.
Look at the numbers. How is Frank doing for you? How has he done for his other clients? Why is he trading all the time? Because that's good for him and not good for you. So you should basically, this is not a personal matter about finding a friend. As they say in Washington, you know this, Tom, if you want a friend in Washington, get a dog. And you wouldn't do this with your dog, and I don't think you should do it with your friend either. These are honest people by and large. They don't really realize that the more they trade, more they have you trade, the less well you do. So activity is essentially the curse of Wall Street. If there's no activity in Wall Street, there is no money in Wall Street. Every day, all those $30 trillion of stock that's changes hands, something like that. One person's buying, one person's selling. It creates no value. It shifts value from A to B or from B to A, and the system of Wall Street takes its cut out of the middle. So the gambling, the casino comes up again. You know, the croupiers of Wall Street, like the croupiers of Vegas, as it's called, I believe it's Las Vegas, he said, and you know, all the bettors that bet red and all the bettors that bet black are equal, but they don't divide up the returns because there is the croupier, and he's got this rake, and he pulls his share off the table. So,
out of your retirement fund.
Love Frank. Buy him a drink every once in a while. Encourage him to tell you the latest jokes, which he would probably do if he was the broker. But think about investing as a long-term thing that doesn't involve any trading whatsoever.